Whew, that was hard one. 5 mile run. Easy day, thankfully. Oh. So on the easy days, focusing in the low 140s, mid 140s for beats per minute. And I think I was in that range. We'll see. I figured I'd shoot this video real quick. But, I've said it a lot of times, but for anyone that is beginning running or a new exercise routine, go easy on yourself in the sense of judgment. There's always ways we can improve. And maybe it's sandwiching it, right? Congratulate yourself. You got your butt out the door. You laced up or stepped outside into a class, whatever it might be. That's the first. Great job, you. Second, sure. Maybe you could have had an extra glass of water today. Maybe you could have passed on the chip at lunch. Who knows? Insert whatever yours is. And on the back end, way to go for seeing it through. You finished, you met your challenge and the one that you had accepted. So always meet those and have fun, right? I got a new top when I was in Mississippi. I have some new shorts and it's fun, right? You look forward to putting on your new outfit, getting out. I am inspired by color, design, fashion. You know that. I would wear a new outfit every day if it came down to it. So if someone wants to send that my way, I'll take it. But I did invest in more summer clothes. I invested in winter clothes last year, which was great. Made it much more comfortable for what it can be, especially when you have 3 pants on in the middle of winter. That's why I love summer. And I remind myself of that when I'm sweating profusely, which is why I love the salt stick tabs, is you have to get enough sweat in your bones to get through winter, especially with that outdoor running. And I was thinking about it. It's interesting. During the winter, you're incentivized not to slow down or stop because you'll freeze. You actually can get frostbite. The summer is the opposite. And with that, it's almost like you get a break by slowing down, stopping, because you get a breather, you cool off momentarily, your heart rate goes down. But of course, I focus on slowing down instead of walking, although it has happened at different times. At the end of the day, you have to make that judgment call, and sometimes it's better to have a slower run or a little choppy than none at all. But in all the years of marathoning, I think I've only missed one training session. They've been modified due to working through different physical things, but I think I only missed one. I stay really healthy. I take my vitamins, focus on sleep and good nutrition. I'm not a saint, but I think of it from a longevity standpoint of I want to eat healthy to feel good, to perform well. There is nothing worse than eating poorly and having a hot summer run. Painful. Same with not hydrating enough. So I focus on those things, but I also realize this isn't a short-term thing that I'm doing for nutrition. I plan to do it this way forever and continually improve as I learn things, as my body shifts over the years, all of that. So my recommendation, you have to do what's right for you, but I see a lot of people that yo-yo, and I used to do that a lot. I would emotionally eat, and then I would go of eating pretty much nothing, like protein and greens, and then that would only last for a certain amount of time. And what I've found over the years of running, of exercise, of journaling, meditation, different things of that nature to help release those stress experiences and hormones, because our habits dictate. And it reminds me of consistency in social media and other things. you can go gangbusters for a short while, but then when you stop, you've really hurt yourself, right? Same is true of foods, any habit, way of doing things. And it's a lifestyle. Again, it's been several years. I think I raced 26 half marathons, probably 28 when I count the last couple. But that was, about 2015 to 2020. And then, then the marathons came in and a couple halves in between, a 10K. But it's something that I love. It fuels me mentally, spiritually, physically, financially. And find what works for you. A lot of people try one thing and then they stop saying, well, it doesn't work. You have to try a lot of things. And that brings me back to, when I began as an entrepreneur in 2007, I had different small careers. It was one of those, they were slowly growing, but it was never to the amount that I was satisfied with. And years later, commercial real estate, worked really hard, continued to do so. And it's the one that worked for me. So try several things. Know that it might take a while, or maybe you find out in the first one. When I think also of fitness, I was tiny little runs, a few miles. I was karate, kickboxing, hot yoga, rappelling, walking, aerobics, Pilates, you name it. I tried a lot of different things, dance. So this is quite the rant for you, but these are all things that are just coming up for me to stay cognizant of, maybe choose one. And I'd love to hear from you. What works? Where do you find yourself stuck? Happy to offer any tips of what's worked for me. Of course, we're all wired differently, but the way I see it is if I help one person, that's a great day.